Real gold, real assets, real value.
Happy New Year 2026, legends. If you're feeling optimistic, confused, or already suspicious, you're in the right place. This is Financial Funnies on the Charlie Ward Show, where we make finance less boring, where the Fed pretends everything's fine, Bitcoin doesn't care, gold gets a software update, and somehow it's still your fault if inflation goes up. It's January the 1st, 2026. The champagne's barely flat, and already the financial system is doing backflips. So let's get into it, because the year has started exactly how we expected, with chaos. Just in the Federal Reserve quietly slipped $31 billion into the US banking system overnight, quietly, casually, like leaving the tap running and hoping no one will notice the flood. My take, they'll tell you this is routine. If this is routine, I'd love to see what an emergency looks like. This is the biggest overnight liquidity injection since COVID, bigger than the dot-com bubble peak, which means somewhere a banker woke up sweating and said, "Yeah, we're gonna need help now." Nothing to see here, folks. Just another normal day in finance. Flying over to Asia, gold discovers the internet. South Korea's biggest exchange, Upbit, is listing Exort, a token-backed one-to-one by physical gold bars. Gold on the blockchain, no forklift required. Gold just went from locked in a vault to click send done. Same shiny rock, now with Wi-Fi. This is old money saying, all right, fine, we'll try the internet, and Asia is absolutely leading the way. Back to the US, Elon Musk versus the IRS Windows 98. Elon Musk says he once paid so much in taxes that it broke the IRS computer. Too many digits, software update required. My take, when your tax payment crashes the system, you're no longer paying taxes. You're stress testing the government IT. This perfectly sums it up. Modern money, ancient software. Somewhere an IRS server just whispered, "I wasn't built for this." The UK markets are entering 2026 on a cautious footing after a very strong 2025 for the FTSE 100, which was driven largely by mining, energy and defence stocks. One major change taking effect right now, new crypto tax reporting rules are officially live. Exchanges are now required to share transaction data directly with HMRC, increasing compliance pressure from digital asset investors across the UK. Meanwhile, consumer spending remains restrained, without households prioritising savings as cost pressures continue to linger into the new year. Moving to the Middle East, Iraq, cryptocurrency use remains restricted with the formal banking system, limiting exposure to digital assets. The economy continues to be heavily dependent on oil revenues, meaning fiscal stability remains closely tied to global crude prices. There are no major monetary or banking reforms being introduced at the start of 2026, keeping the financial landscape largely unchanged. Not ready for an RV, guys. Flying over to Africa, Zimbabwe remains firmly focused on a gold-backed monetary strategies as a way to stabilize its financial system. Gold continues to play a central role in reserves and trade, particularly as confidence in traditional fiat alternatives remains unlimited. Currency stability is still fragile, reinforcing the country's reliance on hard assets over paper money. Next stop, Vietnam continues to see strong domestic demand for gold, reflecting its long-standing role as a trusted store of value. Manufacturing and export growth remains key drivers of the economy as the country enters 2026. Financial authorities are maintaining tight oversight of banks and capital flows, prioritizing stability over rapid liberalization. Now to the markets, gold and silver. Gold remains well supported as investors continue to hedge against expectations of monetary easing and broader uncertainty. Silver is also attracting growing interest thanks to its dual role, both as a precious metal and as a key industrial input tied to the technology and energy demand, remain a core defense allocation for investors heading into 2026. This isn't financial advice, but grab your gold and silver while you can. And finally, a quick crypto snapshot. Robinhood kicked off the new year by giving away 1.5 million's worth of Bitcoin. This isn't generosity, this is marketing with a hoodie on. They're not giving away savings accounts, they're not giving away bonds, they're giving away Bitcoin because that's what people actually want. Nothing says, please don't leave our platform like free BTC. Bitcoin has officially mined its first block of 2026, maintaining uninterrupted operation and reinforcing its role as a macro digital asset tied to global liquidity conditions. XRP continues to be positioned as a cross-border payment and liquidity solution, with focus firmly on real-world financial use cases. And Quant remains a key interoperability asset. And that's today's Financial Funnies Daily News, where the Fed prints quietly, Bitcoin keeps tickling, gold logs on, and government computers beg for mercy. Don't forget to join Charlie and myself every day right here on the Charlie Ward Show for your daily news. And if you want to go even deeper, ask questions live and talk about the stuff we definitely can't say on social media, make sure you join us on the Insiders Club, live and interactive, every Saturday at 3 p.m. GMT, Wednesday at 6 p.m. GMT. We're joined by special guests every week discussing the things that mysteriously trigger community guidelines. So stay curious, stay laughing, and stay one step ahead of the narrative. This has been Financial Funnies Daily News on the Charlie Ward Show. Same time next time. Until then, keep your assets smart, your passwords strong, and your sense of humour fully hedged. Happy New Year 2026. For now, bye-bye.